Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am scared.
And let's play a game together. Oh my god, it's fine. All right, well, welcome back, everybody.
Oh, heart! Lies, look! A two-player variant of TM. These were only released in the Oceania region. Such a rare find. And if you don't know what Oceania region is, as far as I understand, that's basically Australia and some other countries. Mm-hmm. But that's Aussie.
And also, rare find, but will people play it? Because, you know.
And that's the thing.
Wasn't that game originally a 4-player? Yes. Why would anyone want a version with only 2 joysticks?
Well, because, I mean, it's rare. It's a find.
Yeah, and it's less fun. Oh,
Not
God.
the point.
We're such a party pooper.
Anyway, it's hard to find one of these, 2-player or 4-player. I'd love to have it for the arcade. I'd love to have that, and this one, and this one, and... Oh, if only I could take all these home with me. I mean, some have water damage. Others likely have busted CRTs and controls. They all need work, but...
I recall the game she was working on when I first met her. Extensive repairs needed just to make it playable. So, not only would you have to bid and win the game, but then you'd have hours of work and plenty of spare parts to purchase ahead of you.
I know! Isn't it great?
Money-wise or time-wise?
I mean, I appreciate that you get to do what you love, but also at the same time, too, because all of this is still based off of a capitalistic environment.
Does not seem to have enough money for this kind of thing. And unless you're buying that stuff out of your own pocket, yeah. Okay, is there a nice way to say this? You know I love restoring these games, but I know you love it. Do we actually have money for this? Alright, in your black log right now, I think we've been thinking about money a lot. It'd be... Do we actually have money for more new projects?
So more of the blue?
Yeah, more of the blue, but also just, like, I think that fits really well, too.
Again, though, what do you think with Liz go? I mean, like, Liz has been talking about money, but Liz has also been sometimes sensitive to people.
It's true, and I don't think we're trying to be insensitive.
I don't think it's insensitive.
I don't know what feels more sensitive right here.
I mean... The big thing is that, okay, guys, so we've talked about this before in regards to sentence structure, and actually now that my friend is being like, I think what's more sensitive, it occurs to me going, I know you love restoring these games, but completely invalidates what that just was, so that's not really the nicest thing to say.
It doesn't feel as friendly as it could be, because that's the thing I was having too, if you say, oh, I know this thing, but it means the thing of that does not apply.
Yeah.
So I know you love restoring these games, but that doesn't matter because...
So, I guess do we actually have money for more new projects? So
sounded sensitive to me.
Yeah, okay.
Like it was aware. Naomi, before you get ahead of yourself, maybe stop and think. It's a question of resources, above all else, since it's a business. Buying the game, obtaining the parts, paying your per hour to repair it.
Paying her.
Paying you per hour to repair it. I don't think the Funplex can support many more of these rescue projects, based on what they're paying me.
You sound just like Gavin. I'd make the time. I'd work for free. I'd do whatever it takes to give these games the care and love they deserve.
You shouldn't
but
work
honey,
for free.
That's illegal. 1, assuming that the laws are the same, and 2, the parts are not for free.
Yeah.
At all. Neither is the electricity, neither is the space that these machines need to go into. Like,
yeah. And also, again, it's not your arcade. It's what you love, but you... Anyway, I'm very much like, you need to realize there are other people involved. It's admirable that you want to devote so much of yourself to the games, but the games we do have need your love too. Even you have your limits. You have to accept that reality. Why are we digging in so hard about tearing her down? This is a little weird.
I was actually kind of also... So I was having that meta thing also as well, of going, if we pick blue, we're going to get accused of being like Gavin. Okay. So if you haven't noticed, everybody's colors seem to go towards a specific color of a thing that we're choosing.
They do seem to have a particular color preference.
So she's green, and we didn't go after her emotionally. We didn't appeal to her emotions, because Naomi is pretty emotionally motivated.
It's true. I don't think Liz is super emotionally motivated. I think a lot of people that I have known, again, who were poor and were real survivalists. You know, they became sort of, shrewd and orderly. It was because they were like, yeah, I care about things, but God, when it comes down to it.
Which also, though, leaves me in an interesting place, because I've been watching this and kind of going, our character is talking about money. Gavin talks about money,
is he
but
poor?
Nobody else talks about money?
Not
like,
really.
apparently, Naomi can just afford to pay for all of her hobbies and her habits and whatever she likes to do.
And doesn't really think about it. The people that I've met that don't really think about money at all are ones that haven't ever really had to worry about it.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing. And I grew up with that too. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, I kind of didn't, which is a weird sort of thing.
You grew up with it in your family, but not personal money freedom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting.
All right.
But yeah.
Naomi says, frustration building.
It's not fair.
Nothing's fair, dear.
I know. I mean, I'm not dense. I know there's only so much we can realistically do. So many projects I can actually take on. But I wish I could do more. I wish we could do more.
I mean, we have to turn her down anyway, which I think is interesting. Mm-hmm. Like this is not nearly as open. It was one of those of going, no, you have to tell her no. It's not a, hey, let's encourage her or let's disagree
we really
with her.
had to be realistic. We wanted to be down to earth in one way, and we just had to figure out how to say it.
Yes.
So there is a lot of this where it feels like there's more choices, but it's really just how you approach the choices.
Yeah.
Because based on what we were looking at, you cannot avoid coming to this.
Uh-huh.
All three of your things were protesting the experience in different ways.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna end up here. She looks so sad.
She is sad.
The Funplex has never really been a success. Even before I came on board, it was always struggling to stay afloat. I joined it because so few arcades still have the games I love.
Aww.
But I can't turn our situation around, can I? No matter how hard I try.
Oh, baby.
Aww.
This was my first job.
Whoa.
Part of me is hoping it'll be my last job, too. That I can happily spend all my days tinkering with these wonderful games.
Oh, honey,
This
you
is
are
your
brilliant
first job?
for your first job.
I was gonna say, did you come out of college to do this?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, did you go to college basically and get an electricity/engineering degree
Or
of some
specifically a game repair degree in this world?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it could even be
Every
classic
kid
game
says
repair.
they want to be a fireman or an astronaut or a robot cop or something, but nobody actually ends up doing that.
I love the gravel to her
Aw.
voice, actually. It's really
very cute. The sort of vocal fry.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Except me. I wanted to fix up arcade games, and that's what I'm doing. It's all I ever wanted to do.
Oh, honey.
Aw.
So when I see all these old, broken games, I just want to show them the love I can give. I could be happy working on them for the rest of my life.
Aw. Wow. That's dedication. It's also a clear idea of who you are and what you want. And really, you went straight from school to an arcade job. Yeah. I mean, I've meandered from job to job, never really sure what I wanted. That's normal, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
definitely.
the impression that right there, Elias was feeling insecure of going, aren't I normal? You just getting your first job to be exactly what you want and doing it.
Oh, honey.
I'm normal too, right? Like I'm still good, even though you've only had one job. My friend has actually expressed this insecurity of how many numbers, like physical, like number of jobs they've had. And I think it's probably a socioculture and maybe also a little bit class thing, but like just depending on where you were raised and what the values were. Because I never grew up with anyone ever worrying about how many jobs you had behind you.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter whether you worked just a summer gig or whether you worked 3 different jobs in a year, or it mattered if you were paying the bills and you continued improving yourself.
Right, and so for you guys to have a little bit of reference, my friend is absolutely right. For me, I had 2 major contributing factors. One, my family had basically a pretty extensive, desire, more or less, to encourage people to go into career jobs. Both my parents had been to college. My dad is a doctor. My mom ended up almost getting her PhD in marriage and family therapy. They really wanted all of the kids to go to school and get a career. It was a very big thing in our family. But I also had sort of the added thing of there was a lot of weight and pressure in my family to simply perform better, because to my family I was broken. And I don't know how else to put it. I was mentally ill, I was unstable, I was not okay.
And basically,
so,
if you didn't hold a job and stay with the job, you were not a good person.
Yeah.
If you can't keep a job?
Like,
That's
my
a problem.
mom would tell random people who were either my friends or random people that we knew that I was mentally unstable, and she was absolutely convinced that Scandal will never be able to leave home.
Does that
And that
have
I will
much-
just leave home.
Does that affect your job experience a lot?
That basically drove me to a lot of, though, basically going, I'm insecure about a job because, for me, if I don't have a stable job, my mother's right. I can't take care of myself. I have to go home. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Oh, definitely. I'm the oddball here. It's funny. I followed my heart, and I'm just what I wanted, what I needed. And now, well, Now I'm scared someday it'll all come to an end. The Funplex will close.
Is this going to be a story about saving the Funplex?
I hope so. But I'm also like, she's younger
more.
than we are. Our character sounds like they have been wandering around for a significant chunk of time. And I yes.
At any rate, yeah, there's a lot of young people in here, though. Yeah.
And if the Funplex goes under, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. All I ever wanted was to work in an arcade. And I'm literally living my dream.
There's so many economic themes in here. Like, I appreciate that she's also, there's also a lot of identity. Who am I? What do I want? What do I need? But, like, all of those things being affected by the reality of the economy.
Yeah.
Poor thing. Okay, now I feel bad for bringing down her day. Hey, look, you never know, right? Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll find a game down here that brings a thundering herd of players.
Right! I got it!
It's a slim hope, and we both know it, but Naomi clings to it immediately, eagerly.
That's what I mean. So, you'll have to excuse me, guys. When I mean that she's young, if she did just get out of school, she's potentially anywhere from about 19 to 21, is my guess. Which I suppose makes me sound like I'm incredibly old, but I'm not. It's just one of those things you kind of learn to recognize sometimes where people are like, yeah, this thing, and you're like, oh, and you just get out of school. Yeah, you're young.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, if people are 22 or less, they're pretty young. That's what I thought about myself when, even when I was a teen. Like, your adults are pretty young if they're 22 or less. That's kind of always how I've operated.
Yeah.
Honestly, I tossed that hope out there for her, not me. Those doubts on my choices still swirl in my head. Naomi's struggling to realize her dreams, and even in her ideal job. Where does that leave me? But she's also not worried about money, interestingly enough.
I was going to say, Naomi is struggling to realize her dreams, except for the fact that she's just worried that her job will go away. Not that she won't achieve her dreams, because she's clearly achieving her dreams. She's just afraid that her dreams will be taken away from her. That's different.
And it's also different because, again, you're considering maybe this isn't the job for me because it barely pays the rent. That doesn't seem to be her concern
at all. Again, which is very interesting. I'm like, how much money did you ever have as a background?
Or what if she lives at home?
Maybe she lives. Yeah, maybe she does live at home. We just need to find the right game. Something nobody's played in a long time. Something that'll tug at the nostalgia strings.
Like that one.
It's difficult finding the right balance, especially in the year 20XDX. A lot of these games are on life support. Borrowed time.
But they can be repaired, right?
Well, yeah, for now. But CRTs, the monitors that power these old games, before LCDs and now 3D flats started replacing them, they're in short supply. Nobody makes them anymore.
What it sounds like is that you need to jerry-rig that circuit board to be able to plug in to a new kind of adapter and then just fit it into the cabinet. You can put a flat screen in front of there. You just have to reweight things.
Right. I mean, who buys a tube-based TV anymore? Nobody. It's all high definition and that dumb 3D production tech, which looks awful. Nobody appreciates a good CRT anymore.
Aren't high-def displays way cheaper, though? I've seen some old games running them in other arcades.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are some educated people. I appreciate the tech that they are.
The thing is my dad's always been a computer hardware engineer, and so for me, I'm like, you really can string almost anything up to anything. It's just wires.
Yeah.
And then my second job, as when I first moved out of home, was and I say second job, but it's my second job on paper. Was working in computer hardware manufacturing. It was entry level. It wasn't like any of my computer experience mattered. But there was so much of it just depends on how you hook it up. And you can jury-rig almost anything as long as your circuit board's intact.
Right. They're wrong is what they are. These games weren't designed for pixel-perfect flat panels. They're designed for fuzzy tubes. The picture looks weird on LCD.
It does, because it tries to make something crisp that was never designed to be crisp.
Yes.
And on the other hand, even 2 weeks in, I'm still fuzzy myself on a lot of this stuff. But I grew up on the internet age. I'm silicon literate. I got opinions. Now, let's use LCDs and just bash people over the head to make their vision blurry. Oh my god. How about we buy some cheap and common games and gut them for their spare CRTs? Okay. We can simulate the fuzzy image. And so, you know what? I like that. I honestly like the middle one again. I feel like it's very reasonable. I don't feel
that
like
would hurt her so bad.
I know,
gotta
it
say,
really would. It would be very painful. I was like, I feel like Lies
buy
would be
some
more
cheap
sensitive.
games, and you're like, whoa.
All games have value, and they're all beautiful creatures. Yeah, so I think that would be a bad time. But I think Lies having gone That makes me feel bad. Would not choose that. So, let's try. Can't we simulate the fuzzy image and still use an LCD? Hang on. Can't you fake it using a high definition screen? Just make the picture fuzzy, add fake scan lines, bend it a little so it looks like it's on a curved tube. Done?
Ugh.
Ugh, that sounds awful. I mean, that's like serving someone non-fat frozen yogurt and claiming it's a delicious sundae.
I like froyo.
I guess we could do that, but we need an extra computing unit to process the image. Maybe a Raspberry Pi or something. I have had some ideas, but if we don't have money for new games, we certainly don't have money for R&D. It'll have to wait.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad you're with us at the Funplex. Whether you take my side or Gavin's side, it's just nice to have someone who cares about games around. Ashley's fun, but she's way more into cosplay than gaming.
It's true.
But it's kind of odd, you know?
What?
Feeling like I'm not alone.
Oh, that was
I know
a sad face.
That sounds dramatic, but I'm so used to toiling away in my little workshop, with Ashley and Gavin not really caring about the things I love.
Aww.
Oh, honey.
Aww.
I think Gavin cares a lot, but he doesn't know what to do. Like, he cares in the sense of going, like I feel bad for Gavin, because I do feel like, in that weird way, Francine is really absent. I don't know how to describe it. She seems really weirdly not available, and you're just
Super
supposed to kind of...
for reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And maybe it's stress. Maybe it's overwhelmed. She's going, I can't fix this. Maybe she's gotten to that place where she feels like, I'm too old to be able to do any of this.
I feel like, unfortunately, there might be... currently, I feel like there might be some lingering unfortunate stereotype, because we are writers who write certain things, of going, well, you know, the old person's just going to be kind of distant, and that's what happens.
Mentors step back and let you do.
Yeah, and because I was kind of annoyed with her conversation bit in the car. Like...
Well, you guys can just handle it.
You just need to understand when to compromise, dearie. And you're like, I understand compromise is important, but what the fuck, honey? You know,
On the other hand, she could actually be, like, you know, suffering from something.
She could. No, I'm not saying... But again,
But it's
that's
hard
like
to
the
tell.
thing with Philip Jones in Lily's Garden.
There's a lot of tropes associated with older people, and I just want her to be written well when we get down to the end of the day.
Right?
And I don't, like, to some degree, I'm real frustrated with how distant she is, and with how non-interactive she is with something she seems to really care about, because she's not willing to retire, leave it, do something else, but she's also not engaging much.
Right?
Ugh.
They're kind enough to me, and friendly. Well, Ashley is. But ever since you showed up, I feel like there's someone with me. It's odd. I'm not complaining, though. I guess it just takes getting used to, after years of feeling perfectly content to be alone.
Aww.
Honey, you sound young, but I'm also like, so how many years have you been doing this Funplex thing?
Right?
Away from strangers, crowds. It's not really my thing. I don't like to network like Gavin does, or socialize like Ashley does.
Ashley
And
really does remind me of the person I mentioned earlier. Just the best thing in the world is meeting people, especially new people, and just knowing and being around people.
yeah. And now I'm making things weird, so I'm gonna stop there. Besides, I'm just about done taking inventory down here. How about you and I?
Ball. Suddenly, shouting and stomping of feet from the floor above.
What the?
Sounds like there's a fight or something going on up there.
I think we better go see what's what.
Might be a good idea if you already know what you need.
Oh dear.
Quickly, we hurry upstairs to see what the hubbub is. Aye.
What's going on? I heard shouting?
Hamza has rejected a representative of the Dark Carnival known as Deco's Palace from our midst, and not soon enough, in Hamza's opinion.
Oh, okay. I guess everything's fine then. Excuse me, I'm gonna go get my work apron on since we'll be moving games soon.
Naomi, if you don't mind, after you change, we should coordinate our wish list. I want to get that settled before the auction begins. No. Don't leave me alone with...
Bacchanalian orgy master?
What?
Comparing to the god Bacchus. Dionysus?
I don't...
Well, wine god.
Oh, God. Okay.
Wine god of dance and
Oh, my
frivolity,
God.
and also at one
And-
point was a god of madness and insanity.
Right? But also transferred to, like, orgies and sex and sexuality and sensuality.
Yeah,
No, don't leave me alone with the
Bacchanalian.
Bacchanalian orgy master.
Excellent. Now, let us resume the social amusements and jocularities. Like Scandal, we will speak, yes? But we will have to do so in the next one! Yeah! So, thank you everyone. You join us on the next one. Yes? I see you there. I better, because you can like, comment, subscribe, and also check out the Ko-Fi and the Patreon. There are some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!